It's just what you put.
Okay, let me get rid of the notes that are on the board here. Let me get rid of that. Okay, what we're doing today, we're doing repeating decimals today. We're gonna try to do both different methods today, which this is gonna require some serious algebra skills. So these are things that I've heard that you guys have been working on recently. So hopefully this will fit the bill for what we're doing. So we're gonna do some serious little bit of algebra today. So here's the idea. We're on section 411 and 412. Okay, we're kind of skipping a couple sections here. These are repeating decimals. Okay, so I want to give you an idea of how this works. Now, if you guys have your multiplication charts, take those out. If you got your multiplication charts. So you shouldn't have them. I don't have them. So you guys have to have held on. So,
Yeah.
all right. We're gonna need that multiplication chart.
We might have a slight bit of an issue for that. You see, because we haven't used one of our multiplication sheets in a while. I'm pretty sure I lost mine. So, yeah.
Look for them. See if you can find it. So.
Oh, sure, my second.
Okay, so multiplication chart. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing long division, but we're going to do it by hand. So we're not going to be using a calculator today. So that's why you do not need a calculator. You need a multiplication chart out in front of you. We're going to look at how to write a repeating decimal. So we're going to start in a fraction, and then we're going to write it into the repeating decimal form. Now, I hinted at one of these yesterday with the homework that we
What
had.
page is that?
Like the very, very last one, almost. Very before.
In your book? Okay, good. It's in your book. All right, but our goal today is to do a few examples of how to take a fraction, write it as a repeating decimal, and whatnot. Okay? So that's what we're going to look at. Now, other than that, what we're going to try to attempt to do today is go backwards. We're going to try to take a decimal and write it as a fraction today, which this is the part where you're going to need to do some serious algebra. So we're going to, this is definitely new. We have not done something like this before, so that'll be kind of fun. I think you guys will actually like it. It's actually doing Algebra 1, which you guys need to kind of see before you get into pre-algebra and whatnot. So it's going to be, I think you're going to like it. This is kind of cool stuff, the way that this works. All right, let's jump right in. Let's talk about a fraction here. All right, so this is the first one we're going to write. So it's 4 over 6. Okay, that's a fraction, right? All right, what we're going to learn today is how to write this as a decimal. Okay, we've been doing that the last couple days, but without a calculator. Like before, we would just long divide. Take 4 divided by 6. Now that's the way we did it on a calculator, and it would spit out a number, and then we'd write it down, and we'd be done. That's what you did in your last previous homework, the 114, 115. I don't want to do that today. I want to learn how to do this by hand so you can actually see this. Okay, so when you do this by hand, this number is the dividend. Okay, that's
Wouldn't it be 0.46?
Nope. No, definitely not. So the idea is that this is the dividend, that's the number that goes in the house. This number is the divisor. This is the number that goes on the outside. The bottom number is always the divisor. Okay. All right. Questions on which one goes in the house, which one doesn't?
No.
Okay. So, and it's not 0.46 because again, you have to divide the actual number. So the 4 is going in the house, and what I like to do after it is put a decimal and put some zeros behind it. I usually go about 3 or 4 zeros after it. On the outside, you're going to put the other number, which is the 6. The bottom number goes on the outside. That's the dividend or new denominator, right? Or sorry, divisor and denominator. That's the bottom number. Okay, that goes on the outside. So now, how many times on your multiplication chart, without going over, can 6 go into 4? Without going over. 6 goes into 4. Can 6
going over.
without going over? Can it go into 4 without going over?
No.
Yeah, so we put a 0. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next number. So now we're doing 40. Okay, so we're doing the next number. And again, we're ignoring the decimal. So how close can 6 get to 40?
36, which would be 6.
36, okay? So this is a 6, so we put a 36 down here. And then we subtract and we go off the next number, okay? So we'd subtract and you get 40 minus 36, what is that? Difference of 4? 4 away? 36,
Yep.
37, 38, 39, 40, so it's 4. And you bring down the next number, which is 0. How many times can 6 go into 40 without going over?
6.
6 times again. Okay, that's 36. Then we would subtract again, and what do you get? 40 minus 36.
Same thing. we
Four.
had.
4, and you bring down the next number. Do you see what's going to be happening here?
40,
It's gonna
40.
take-
Yeah, it's going to keep.
It's gonna keep going
Keep
before
going
you
to
Yeah, so we keep putting 6's up here, right? The decimal goes straight up, and the actual decimal is repeating. So the idea here is that my number, my answer, my quotient is 0.6 with the bar above it. The 6 is repeating over and
That's
over
what
and over.
that's what I mean.
Okay? Okay. Does that make sense, like why it's repeating? It would just keep rinse and repeat, 40, and then we'd go 36, and 40, and 36, 40, and 36, and it would just keep bouncing back and forth.
Yep.
Okay, let's do one more, just so you can see this. Again, we're just doing this by hand.
Did
We're
you,
doing-
did you guys finish the game?
For what?
The card game?
No, we haven't even done it yet. No, haven't done it yet. We waited for you to get back so we could actually play it. So I was tempted to do it possibly as early as tomorrow.
Ooh.
So,
If
be
we
kind of
have
a
school.
Friday activity.
If we have school.
If we have school. I'm expecting we'll probably delay it, but we'll have school. All right, questions with the first one. Let's do another one. Okay, this one, let's make it a little bit bigger numbers. Let's go with something bigger than maybe a 6 on the bottom. Let's go
8.
9. Let's go 9. Let's go 8, 9. That'll work. 8 and 9. Okay? So 8 and 9. Let's do that. That's a good example. Okay.
1.
All right. So I'm just gonna leave it up. That's kind of nice. All right. So which number goes in the house?
The bottom. 9.
Nope.
8.
8 goes in the house. Now, what do we put after the 8? What have we been doing these last couple of problems?
That doesn't
Three
go
zeros.
on, and then probably put zeros.
Bunch of zeros. I go about 3 or 4. That's usually what I do. Okay, if we need it, we may not. Looks like the first one we will. The 9 goes on the outside. Remember, the top number goes in the house, the bottom number doesn't. Okay, so now that we're here, how many times can 9 go into 8 without going over?
Look at that.
Say it again?
3.
0.
0. Okay, so we got 0 here, because 9 can't go into 8. It's too big, right? So now into 80. How many times can 9 go into 80 without going over?
72, so that'd be 8.
72, okay, so we're gonna put 72 here, and you're absolutely right, 9 times 8 is 72. We subtract straight down, so if you subtract, you're gonna get an 8. 80 minus 72 is 8. We bring down the next number, which is 0. And then 9 goes into 80 how many times again?
Oh, 72.
72, so, and that would be an 8 again, right? 8
Just
times
gonna
9 is
keep doing it.
And yeah, we'd keep rinsing and repeating, it would be a 0. This decimal would come straight up, so what would be my final answer as we're repeating? What would I write?
0.8.
0.8, and what do we put above it?
That one line.
That little bar. The bar means it's repeating. Okay, that's long division, right? That's doing it by hand, seeing numbers that repeat. I can make up any number I want, and I can make it repeat, okay? But there's a certain strategy for how you know that you're gonna get repeating numbers, okay? The goal tomorrow is to look at kind of longer numbers, so I'm gonna kind of look at some bigger examples of this, okay? All right, so now here comes the cool part. We're gonna make a repeating decimal, and we're gonna change it back to a fraction. And we can make up any number you want. So this is kind of the cool part. It takes hardly any math at all, hardly any, which is the weird part. A lot of people don't realize it's like you can make up any number you want and make it repeating, and then make the fraction for it. So that's what we're gonna practice, okay? All right, so here we go. So, does everyone have those 2 examples written down? Got them?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Let's go to the new part here. So now, we're gonna make up our own repeating number.
1, 21, 21,
21.
Okay, 21. Okay, let's do that. All right, so 0.2121. All right, so this is the number we're gonna make up, right? So the bar is above the 21, so you guys want to make up the 21. Okay. What I like to do, now that we have this,
Oh,
You set this equal to x. Set it equal to x, okay? X is a variable, it's an unknown in algebra class. That's all it means, okay? Now, how many numbers did you have repeat? How many numbers were underneath the bar?
4.
How many numbers are underneath the bar?
3.
Count these. How many
Oh,
numbers?
2.
2 numbers. 2 numbers are underneath the bar. 1, 2. There's 2 numbers underneath there. Okay? So if there's 2 numbers underneath the bar, what you're going to do is you're going to put 2 zeros out front of the x. You're going to put 2 zeros out front of the x. Now where I'd actually like you to put this, we're going to rearrange this here in a minute. I'm just showing you how to set this up. So we're going to put the 100 here. So we're putting 2 zeros out front. Now why there's 2? Because that's how many numbers are underneath the bar.
Exactly.
Okay? Now, in the back, the number you had, you're going to move this decimal however many spots there were underneath the bar. So, Eric, on this one, how many numbers were underneath the bar again?
2.
Here, we're going to move the decimal 2 spots. So if you move the decimal 2 spots, my number is going to be this.
21.2121.
Okay, so you moved it 2 spots because there was 2 numbers underneath the bar. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now, what I'd like you to do on your paper, I would like you to write this one first, and then write this one right below it, and stack them perfectly on top of each other.
So which one first?
So, you're gonna write the one in black here. So, you're gonna write the 100x, and then write equals 21.212121, and just go a couple numbers in. So 100x equals, and then equals 21.212121.
How many 2 ones is that?
I don't know, just put as many as you want. You can go 2 or 3, 4, I don't really care. Okay, because after a while, you'll see what's gonna happen here. Okay,
We should have learned 21, 22, 23.
okay, we good so far? Now, this should be the number you have. Now, below it, what we're gonna do is you're gonna put a 1x below it, and behind the 1x, you're gonna put the number you started with. So in my case, that's the 0.21212121, the original number we created. Now, you need to line up the decimals. So line up the decimals right on top of each other. So you're gonna line up the 21 with the 0, line up the decimal, line up the 2 ones, 2 ones, 2 ones, 2 ones, 2 ones, 2 ones, 2 ones. Okay, so this is what you should have on your paper. It should look something like that so far. Now, why did I write that? Is because this is representing the original number, the first number you had, okay? All right, now what I'd like you to do is subtract these straight down. So here's how it works. So Eric, what is 100 minus 1?
99.
99. Okay, very easy. Don't even need a calculator. Now, same. When we subtract back here, we always start on the right side and we subtract. What happens when you subtract these?
Oh,
0, 0,
Yeah, they're all canceling each other out, right? They're all canceling out until you get to the decimal point, and then what's out front? What's 21 minus 0?
21.
21. All right, and then the last part here is to get my final answer. How you get your answer? You're going to take this 99, and you're going to move it to the bottom, and you're going to put it below the 21. So if there's a number out front, which in our case is 99, you're going to divide this over to the other side, and you're going to make a fraction. So the number 21 goes on the top, and what are we putting on the bottom again?
the 99.
99.
Nine.
This, that fraction represents your repeating decimal. So, just to prove my point, because you guys created that crazy number. Here you go.
Oh gosh.
I would like you to take 21 and divide by 99, because that's the fraction we came up with.
numbers
So,
of actual math.
so take 21 and divide by 99, and you're going to see the fraction we just created is actually the number that you guys made up. Yep, 0.2121212121.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, make sense? We can do this for any type of math. So our goal today is to practice this a couple more times until you guys see the strategy. Okay? Alright, we good so far? I'm gonna make up my own now. Okay, so you guys made up the 21, I'm gonna make up something a little more crazy than that. So let's go with, okay, here we go. It's gonna seem a little weird. 0.7143, and that's the number that's gonna repeat.
Why does that sound like a phone number?
I just made up numbers. Alright, so now this is my number that's repeating. How would I write that out in full form if I kept repeating it? What would my number be? What would my number be if I repeated that over and over and over? What would I write?
7143, 7143.
Yeah, 7143, 7143, 7143, and you just keep going, da 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 da, it would just keep repeating over and over and over. Okay, that's my original number. That's my 1x number. That's the 1x. That's the original number I'm starting with, is that one. Okay, now, how many numbers were underneath the bar?
Oh, 4.
4. You're gonna put 4 zeros out front. You're gonna put 4 zeros out front. So in my case, I'm putting the number 10,000. Because I need 4 zeros. There's 4 numbers underneath the bar, 4 zeros out front. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna move this decimal 4 spots. So if my original number was 7143, 7143, if I move this decimal back 4 spots, where is it gonna be behind? If I move it back 4 spots, where is it gonna be behind?
The 4.
How many spots am I moving it back?
Behind the 3.
Behind the 3. So my number will be 7143.7143, 7143, 7143, da 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 da. Because all I did was move the decimal back 4 spots, so it's behind the 3. And now, when you subtract, what would happen? So let's do it backwards here. So Sam, you're up first. What's 10,000 minus 1?
9,000.
9,000, keep going.
Wait, what?
10,000 minus 1.
Wait, what?
10,000 and you're subtracting 1.
Yeah.
8.
So what do you get? 10,000 minus 1.
1,000.
9,000.
No,
How is it not 9,000?
you're off by 1,000. You had $10,000 and you spent $1. You're telling me that you're left with $9,000? There's a different,
Oh!
Wait, what?
9,009.
keep going. 9,000, 9,
9.
9,
100. Oh,
Nine.
Jesus.
9. 9,999. You spent $1.
I'm confused on how that works.
Confused with that $10,000 minus $1 is 9,999? That is not 9,000? Do it on your calculator. Subtract 10,000 minus 1.
Oh, wait, what am I subtracting again?
10,000 minus 1.
4 zeros. Yes, that's 4. And then times or subtract?
Minus 1. You're going to subtract $1. $1 off.
Oh.
10,999. Alright. Now, when you subtract, Eric, now it's your turn. What happens in the back when I start subtracting these? Because I start on the right side. What happens back here?
They just start canceling.
Boom, 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 boom. They're all canceling out until I get to the decimal point where I have the 0 now. What's 7,143 minus 0?
1,743.
7,143? Or 7,143, yep. And then the last step, I have to move what number across? What number am I moving over? Because I have to solve for x. If I want to get this x by itself, what number is attached to it?
9.
Yep, that number goes to the other side, you put it on the bottom. So what is my fraction now if that number goes to the bottom?
It would be the 9.
So what's the number on the top?
999. Oh, that's the top number?
Top number. And what's on the bottom of it?
And 9,999.
There's your fraction.
You said it's there.
Now, here's the thing. What have you noticed about the last problem to this problem?
They're all different.
Well, look at the example I just gave you. You guys did the 21, 21, 21, 21. What went on the bottom? My number was a lot bigger, but what was on the bottoms?
All 9s.
All 9s. You can make up any repeating number you want by putting 9s on the bottom. Any number you want. So, Sam, make up any number you want.
Oh, not this again.
Any number you want that repeats.
420.
420, 420, 420, right? So 420, 420, 420, 420, which is 0.420, right? And the 420 repeats. How many numbers are underneath the house, or underneath the bar? 3, you put 3 zeros on the bottom. So type that on your calculator right now. Eric, give me a number. Any number that repeats.
Oh, it's funny.
No. Oh,
Any number that repeats.
9. 9. 9.
Can't do that one. Can't do
Can't?
this. Can't do that one. Not yet.
Right.
Why?
Because we have to do the math later.
420.
Say it again?
Repeated.
You repeat it over. Okay. Give me another number other than 9s there, Eric.
8.
Okay. 888. Alright, 888. So let's say that this is your number over and over and over. By the way, we already did this problem. Thank you very much. So let's say this is your number repeating over and over and over. How many numbers are underneath the bar if this is the number you want repeating?
0. 8.
How many numbers are
and
underneath the bar?
doofus.
3.
3. Okay? So take your number that you want repeating and put that many 9s on the bottom. And now Eric, type that in your calculator and see what it gives you.
8. 8.
It's gonna be.
Because you wanted 888s and you wanted 9s on the bottom.
Oh, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9.
Divided.
Divide. And you'll see that it will give you the correct repeating decimal.
Oh, God.
Okay, it'll repeat now. Okay, if my repeating decimal is this, 052, 052, 052,
0, 5, 1.
what number is underneath the bar if this is my number?
0, 5, 2.
052, okay, so 052. So how many numbers are underneath the bar?
3.
3, so you put the 052 on the top, you put a bunch of 9s on the bottom, which you need 3 9s because there's 3 numbers after it. And technically, you wouldn't even need the 0 up front. So you could just write 52 over 99. Or sorry, 52 over 999.
0, 5, 2, 0, 5, 2, 0, 5, 2. Yep.
It's any time you want to write a repeating decimal, you can put 9s on the bottom. Okay?
Now-
Alright, we're done for the day. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy.